Hi, thank you for your patience. This is the second meeting of Sirimangalo Volunteers, a group that's very much in progress and in the process of forming together to support a new meditation center and monastery being founded by Venerable Yuddha. So it's a very new effort, very new group, and I'm very new at this, so I'm really sorry for the delay this week. By next week, I should have things figured out logistically a little better and be able to start on time. But we're meeting because with the establishment of this brand new monastery and meditation center, there are so many different things that are needed, both technical abilities and organizational skills and items to be sent. And this is just our chance to talk to Bhante and find out for this upcoming week, what do you most need? And I know that's probably a lot of different things, so where to start? I know we have some people here, Bhante, who have some technical abilities. George, I know, had a project last week. So how did that go, George?
As for editing the audio, I have a sample from that, but after I edited it, it'll make you dizzy to listen to it because the sound the distortion goes ooh louder each time, so the sound is still dipping. You'll be pretty confused after you listen to it. I can upload a sample now.
But if someone were to just take out the silence, the part where I'm not speaking.
That's what I did.
Were to just take that part and put it to 0 amplitude. You're saying that makes it sound.
Yeah, because almost that weird sound in the middle of you speaking is bridging you speaking. Suddenly it's pretty jumpy. I can show you a sample.
I think Audacity has like a noise lower, like background noise kind of thing, and it might help with the fuzz.
No, the noise filters are never all that good, but they'll work if you have consistent. It's just too high, this sound, too loud, and it always does take something away from the audio. Anyway, it's not. I don't think it's worth it. I think we should just forget about it. It's not that big of a deal.
What sort of other projects for the website or helping with the files? What kind of things do you need help with, Bhante?
Well, as I said, we should set up this org.sirimangalo. I've just made you and Anthony admins on the site, so you can see it's got a lot of old information on it. It's got old budgets and donations, and says that we're in Manitoba, so all that has to be changed. So if you can also invite other people to be editors on the site. You add user and then make them an editor if there's someone else who we trust to edit the information.
Okay. Okay, anything else of a technical nature? You had someone you were going to be contacting in Australia, was it? And I think they actually contacted both of us by email as well, but they weren't sure if they were going to be able to make it to this meeting because it's about 2 a.m. in Australia at this time, I guess.
I think Doug just emailed something like he wanted to be here or something? I'm here? Did you send him
I didn't.
He just said, I'm here, something like that.
Oh, okay. Do you have his email? Oh, no. Let me check. One moment. I'm signed into a different account at this point, so it's...
I'm here, there, 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Do you have his email?
I do, yes. Yeah, I do, thanks. So this is a big week. You're going to start moving over on Tuesday, Monte, is that correct?
Yes.
September
Tuesday
1st.
is our move-in date. One thing to shout out there in case anyone knows anyone, we could use some server space probably, but I know that's not always easy to come by. Someday we should probably
I can
think
provide
about.
that, no problem. Server space.
Sorry?
Did you say server space?
Yes.
Oh, I can provide that, no problem.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So just
How
as and
is
when.
the how is the what are the resources that you have?
I'd probably just use like a virtual VPS in America or England, whatever, and you can choose any operating system. We can install
Oh
a
wow.
control panel. Then,
Okay. Would you know how to set up Nginx?
oh, I don't right now, but I'm pretty sure I could learn it in
Okay.
an
'Cause
hour or
we
two.
need if we could get a server running Nginx. Actually, no, we don't even need that because this thing called Big Blue Button, it includes Nginx. I think, yeah, it would need an Ubuntu server, Ubuntu 14.04. Anyway, if you go to Big Blue Button, they've got all the details there, but it was really easy. You get Ubuntu server and you follow their steps. And I got to the last step and then it said, it says Nginx isn't running because I've got Apache running on port 80. And it wanted to have Nginx running on port 80. And because Nginx is difficult with PHP, it just seems like a bit of a nightmare to do. But it should have its own dedicated space anyway. I'm not sure the resources it requires, but I don't know. They seem to think it uses a lot of resources. I can't believe it uses so much. I guess
Okay,
bandwidth would be a deal.
I can start up one of those servers, and you could just point some subdomain from Sirimangalo to
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
so I needn't have any access.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Give me the IP address, right?
Right. I could do that for next week.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
You could point the IP address there then.
Yeah, this Big Blue Button, it looked like a pretty cool platform for potentially for our study group. We have a nice study group. We meet to study Visuddhimagga and Pali, and we're on Mumble now, which is nice. But with the Pali especially, it would be great to have the visuals. I think that was the one that had the whiteboard capacity, the capability, right, Ponte? Or was that the other one?
Sorry?
For the Big Blue Button, that was the one that had the whiteboard abilities on it.
It says it has whiteboard abilities, but we couldn't find it. I didn't never get to see how their whiteboard works.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, I assume that it works.
Yeah, that would be quite an upgrade for our study group. That would be nice. So as you move over this week, transition over, are there any things in particular, Bante, that would be helpful to you in the
I
move?
need cardboard boxes, but I don't suppose anyone can get them here by Tuesday.
No, I can get some there by Saturday.
Will you be able to get a bunch? Because books will be a big deal.
Yeah, I can bring as many as I can find from work. So
Okay.
it's fortunate we're moving at work, so there's just kind of lots of random stuff lying around. So
Mm-hmm.
they let us take whatever we need. So I look for boxes.
So
We could also look into having U-Haul deliver boxes to you.
Did they charge for those though? I seem to remember
Yeah,
that.
they're pretty cheap. Like a
Are
small
they?
box, a couple dollars, that sort of thing.
so if we had people local, we could just go pick some up somewhere, right? There's about 100 people here today for today is a big celebration something. But I don't really, there's no one I could really ask. Many of them would do it. In fact, I think they raised a whole bunch of money. I gave a talk today, and while I was talking, they were all handing out and collecting money for the talk. But of course, I never take it, so I'm sure they have something that they're willing to. I could talk to the head monk, see if there's someone here who could get me some boxes. He's got lots of supporters. He wants to make a U-carrying project for the monastery here, and I would like to help him with that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
I don't
very
know
easy to work with.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not our concern today. So the newsletter is one thing that we should work on, and the volunteer list. Everyone here should get on the other mailing list, and then we can have us. Then it's easy to send an email out to everybody, and that list people can communicate with each other. So it'll be a group mailing list. So someone, Robin, will you be able to do all that? Send
Yes.
invitations here to everyone here for that mailing list?
Yes, definitely. Like right now, everything's been kind of scattered. There were some names on Facebook, and there's some that people email me or message me through Facebook or through Google Plus separately. So everything's been kind of scattered, but I can get that all together and make sure that everyone's on an email list as well, because it's good to have things on social media too, but things go through the newsfeed so quickly. Email is really handy because it's always there for you whenever you get around to it. So yes, you can definitely do that. And we wanted 2 newsletters, right? A general one and a volunteer one.
Well, there's 2 mailing lists. The volunteers don't necessarily have to get a newsletter, but they should get notifications of the meetings, reminders of the meetings, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's also just a 2-way communication, so we can discuss what we're doing, remind each other, and ask each other, and so on.
That sounds good. Yeah, that would be probably considerably better than Facebook since not everyone's on it. And I mean, that's good for certain things, but this sounds like it would be better all around. So Aruna, you're going to be moving to the Toronto area?
Yeah, the 10th, right?
That's pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, I'm just packing and then, yeah, hopefully I'm waiting for, I can can put my energy over there, like just to make it, you know.
So Aruna's actually moving from British Columbia to the Toronto area, and he's going to move into the monastery for about a month or so. And
which is great. Means it'll make it easier to get food. I think. So there's still grocery orders being made every week here?
I discontinued that. Should
Okay.
I keep up with those, or?
Well, I don't know actually. I'm assuming we're fine. I'm still getting the American cheese every morning.
I didn't send any American cheese.
Right.
No, I definitely didn't. That must be from someone else.
I'm pretty sure it's from you.
No, I'm not
Robin
sending
here.
American cheese. I'm really not a fan of American food, so it's not from me. The produce order, there's one more produce order that's scheduled for Monday, for tomorrow, but I
Okay.
didn't make a grocery gateway order. I figured kind of
Right.
transitioning over, so.
Okay. So right, and once I go there, well, as long as if Aruna's there, then Grocery Gateway is, I don't know what Aruna would be interested in. What would work for eating?
For me, doesn't matter.
On the other hand, if you're there, would you think to go grocery shopping or?
So yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
Right.
I'm happy to do that. Yeah, something cleaning, make it nice like this, and then keep it nice.
Maybe you can do the grass because I can't cut grass.
No, I can do that thing. Oh, I can put my time, energy.
I think there's a market not far at all, right? That Metro.
Closed down, but
Oh, they did.
there's Fortino's. It's a little bit further, but there are smaller grocery stores nearby. I think I don't know. But
It
yeah,
looks
Food
like,
Basic is coming soon.
yeah, it looks like a pretty fairly urban area with businesses in walking distance. So, speaking of cutting the grass and yard work and all that, did you find out? Did you get a chance to look in the shed and see if there's,
I haven't been back yet.
items for? Okay, so
Oh.
not really sure about potentially needing stuff for yard care.
A lawnmower, right?
Yeah,
How does that work? Do we normally have to get our own lawnmower?
I don't know. It would be nice if they had all that stuff in the shed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because lawnmowers are pretty costly. That's not the kind of thing you want to have to buy unless you really need to. Fortunately, it's the end of summer. Maybe the grass will die real quick and you won't have to worry about it.
Or maybe we can get a second-hand one, like from local.
Sure. And
Or I
Kiji's,
can, sorry, I can do some fixing. I don't know how to fix the engine. Maybe I can figure out.
yeah, we can get a second-hand one from Kijiji or something.
Oh yeah.
Also, is if the grass is not that big, the manual operated push mower could be an option.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's too much grass, then it'll be tiring.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, it looked like a pretty manageable sized lawn, not a huge lawn that would be really overwhelming or anything.
I think they have a guy who comes and does their lawn care and yard care and everything, so we could also look into getting someone to do it. The other thing is the snow blowing. That's probably going to be a bigger deal because we've got such a long area to snow blow, to shovel.
Yes.
Although this isn't like Winnipeg, so the amount of snow we get here is probably fairly manageable. Yeah, I mean, even I can do it as long as it's not too cold.
And Tina, you were going to make some meditation cushions for the meditation center?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I wonder if I can use neutral color. I don't have it right now, but maybe the color of bugs. I don't know how to call that color.
Bugs.
The color of bugs.
Bucks, like a light brown?
Box.
Yeah.
Box.
Oh,
A box.
Or it in white color or what kind of color?
Darker is better because,
It get dirty
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, that'll be nice.
And you need two. Can I make 2 or 3 or how
That'd be awesome.
many?
No, we don't need. I've got a whole bunch of the square flat ones. They're about this tall and big square from Thailand, and I'll be bringing those.
Okay. The size I'm thinking will probably not so big.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the proper size?
Depends what kind you're making. Is it one to sit for the legs to sit on, or just for the bottom to sit on?
It has a little bit high, and I'm going to put buckwheat shell in it,
Mm-hmm.
so it probably get flatter over time.
Mm-hmm.
But the size, I don't know how big people.
Are you thinking of a square cushion?
Yeah, or I make the rectangle ones, like a
Mm-hmm.
pillow shape.
Yeah, I don't know how big they are. Maybe it's 2 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet, I guess.
Okay.
Is that too small? What's 2 feet?
2 feet.
Tina, were you talking about the ones that where you sit higher, so it's just for the bottom to sit on?
Usually,
Or
you have a mat on the floor, and then you have like a pillow thing,
yeah, so you
right?
mean the
So
kind that
the
goes on
one I'm
top
going
of
to make is the pillow thingy.
the top part? Yeah, the zafu
Uh,
they call it in Japan, the zafu that sits on top of the zabuton.
well,
So
that only has to be a foot, no?
yeah, yeah, which will make it easier for you to ship because once you get all the buckwheat hulls in there, it'll be heavy. So yeah, probably like a foot or if you
Does it go that high?
you know what might help out is if you look them up online and see what the dimensions are on the ones that they're selling, if there's a kind of a standard size for them,
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
might
right.
help. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
How much below? Like
Uh, how many pillows? Did you mention two, one or two? I'm going to make three anyways.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks, Tina.
No problem. And also, I'm searching for the store that is nearby the university area and the meditation center area, and to find the store that has gift card available, and I'll make a list. So if people want to um, want to offer meal, so they can find what are the store they can choose from.
Oh, for restaurants or grocery stores, were you thinking, Tina?
Right now, I found two other restaurants. They have gift card, and also I'm thinking about like the milk delivery in the morning. See if there is any uh, uh, like in our area, there is local milk company. They deliver milk every morning.
Well,
hmm.
I don't
That
imagine in Hamilton. I'd be surprised if there was, just because we're very urban here, and this is the industrial heartland of Ontario.
And
You never know.
that would be something that you couldn't keep, right? You'd have to have it
Yeah.
there just for a short time and
Yeah,
then
Well, I can't keep it.
the portion, there are different size that you can choose from.
Mhm.
So maybe two 250 millimeter you can finish in the morning.
things.
It's something that, but we can get it from the grocery store as well. But
Okay.
it's something that a steward or someone who's staying there as well could keep.
Yeah, we can. I think.
But it might be good to, if you found a place, Tina, because I remember you had a meditator who had specifically requested milk. So maybe just to have that information in case you had a meditator or a steward who wanted to, make an order like that.
Mm.
But
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
I will think of different kinds of store, grocery store too.
Yeah, two things we found were, looking at Google Maps and places that are right in the area. We found a Tim Hortons looks like it's about half a block away, And was that the one, Bante, you said if someone sends you an e-card, they actually combine so you can, receive all the e-cards under one account on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's handy. If anybody wants to send an e-card from Tim Hortons for breakfast, that'll come in handy. They all get combined, so that's good. And there's another place, Pita Pit, which looked like it had really healthy lunches, and they also have an e-card program. But someone pointed out that the link was broken last night, so hopefully they'll get that put back pretty quick.
I'm not sure if it's supported, but I know the app or service rather, Google Wallet can store all sorts of like e-cards on one application that can all be pulled up from one system
Oh, wow.
instead of having to like. I think that's how it works. I haven't really played around with it too much, but it just might make things a little bit easier if it's all together in one spot.
So from Google Wallet, you would potentially have like multiple different e-food cards?
Yeah, I think it like. I remember reading that it like supports like any loyalty cards along with like gift cards and things for different companies that are specific to them. Like say, I mean, over here we have like Wawa. They have their own cards that you can put on there and stuff, But I'm pretty sure you can access all the cards from one application or one web service at that point. So it's a little bit more manageable instead of having to go to like different websites for different restaurants or whatever you'd have to do.
That would be really handy. Would you be able to look into that and put an update on the Sirimangalo Facebook page?
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Okay, thank you.
So doesn't the restaurant need to support Google Wallet in that case?
I'm not sure if it's just like a hub to keep them like to organized, and if you like link them in some way, or I'm not
We need to
exactly
figure
sure.
out what it is.
Yeah, all I know is I remember reading when I got my new phone. Actually, it was like, oh, try Google Wallet. It was trying to advertise to me, but I looked into it and it was saying that you could like store loyalty cards and gift cards and all sorts of things from all different companies. So I mean, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, if you can check into that and put an update on the Facebook page, that would be good. That might be just trying to, be efficient here and
Oh yeah, that's
things
pretty much the whole
organized.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
I can prepare some meals too. I don't know what are the menus and so on.
Can you make paripu?
Sorry?
Paripu? Can you make paripu?
Oh, dal curry. Oh yeah, I can do that thing. For sure, I can do something Indian like Sri Lankan.
Paripu.
Do you? Oh, it's like Indian kind of. Usually, paripu like dal is from India with coconut milk and then powder. Yeah, I can make for sure, but I'm still thinking like, how can I make a long-term commitment? But for sure, because I'm looking a job over there, and then with that, I'm supposed to locate between work and then monastery.
Have you decided on your location? You're thinking Toronto?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be there in the monastery for sure 1 to 2 months. So I'm thinking.
What is
And
your
then
field? What are you looking for? What field are you looking?
Automation, like factory automation.
So have you
machine.
looked in Hamilton? Because that's where all those kind of jobs are, I think. If you were in Hamilton, you could just stay at the monastery and do, do your thing. I mean, I don't know. There
Okay.
was a question of whether it would be proper to have someone who was going to a job, but if it meant that we'd have a steward, someone to look after the place, or not look after the place, but do basic household chores, just to do things that I can't do, like cut the grass and not much, like offer food to me or that kind of thing. Yeah, maybe that would work over the long term, because Hamilton is a place where there's lots of jobs, I think.
Yeah, even though I'm away a little bit from monastery, my intention is like to be visit like 3-4 times at least, like, and then I can do whatever grass cutting or
Mm.
sort of thing. I'm really happy. It's an honor to me to have.
Well,
I mean,
glad to have you.
it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, I was surprised at how big Hamilton is. I mean, it seems, land-wise, it seems pretty big, and it's pretty well developed too.
It's called the armpit of Ontario. It's because if you look at the lake looks like it has an armpit, but it's called that for a reason, because it's also the industrial capital of Ontario. It's the East Hamilton where I am here, or a little bit further west of where I am, but it's quite ugly. But West Hamilton is quite nice, and the university, the area where we will be is actually quite nice. It's got an unfair reputation at this point. It's mostly historical, I think. But yeah, it's the new Toronto, they say. Toronto's just too big now. Or is that Mississauga? I can't remember. Maybe that's Mississauga I'm thinking of. But I think Hamilton does have some positive qualities. We've got our own airport.
So when you have the address and everything, you know how to get there from the airport and all?
Yeah, you gave me right. I can manage. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure Google Maps or whatever would.
Yeah,
Um,
I just mapped and then.
If you get into the Toronto airport, you just take a subway or bus to the main bus terminal downtown and at Bay Street, and then there's anyway, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, if you use Google Maps for public transport, it gives you the bus numbers, the train numbers, everything. It's really amazing.
Convenient, right?
Very much.
Yeah.
So I guess there wasn't that much that we had to talk about today. Is there anything else that we need to go over?
Well, Doug is here now. Hi, Doug.
Okay, I'm unmuted. G'day, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I turned on the light outside to join the hangout and woke up my daughter, which isn't too fun.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, she's 17 months now, so yeah.
Well, glad to have you anyway. Glad to meet you.
Definitely.
Yes, finally.
It's very late at night where you are, right?
Yeah, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. So.
Doug, where are you?
East coast of Australia.
Oh.
Yeah. So other side of the world. Yeah.
And it's Monday already there, right? So it's 3 a.m.
It is.
Monday.
That's right. Yeah. So.
Wow.
I am so. Funny thing, I inadvertently looked at the wrong video, so I thought that I was watching the live hangout, but I was actually apparently watching the previous one, because this one isn't actually published yet. So there's only one hangout video there, a volunteer hangout video, so I thought that I was watching the right one, and
Okay.
evidently not, which is fine. So then I eventually got the hangout to work on my phone, which is what I'm talking to you on now. So I've missed everything at the start. Apologies. So yeah, if you've discussed the server at all, I haven't seen that. So.
Well, George says he was willing and intending to set up a server that I can put Nginx on, and to run this software, conferencing software on a separate server, and then we'll link it to the main Sirimangalo via DNS zone entry.
Yep.
He'll give me the IP address, I'll set up the entry, and it'll be a subname or subdomain. No, wait. How does that work? If I want it to be a subdomain on Sirimangalo, what are the steps?
You go to your domain registrar or your control panel for the hosting, you make a tag, and you simply point that name to the IP address. It's pretty simple. Anyway, take you 5 minutes or so. I could find a guide if I knew exactly what the
that would be enough if it were the main domain. So the A entry has to be for, and then under the, I don't put @ I put like meeting or something,
Yeah,
which would
right.
make it meeting.sirimangalo. Right? Okay, I remember now.
I just looked, and the Big Blue thing requires a quad-core server with 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense for something you're only going to use once a week.
I'm skeptical personally, but I mean, I assume it does require some resources.
There's another one called Open Meeting, so I'll look at both of them. They both seem to include
we had Open Meeting installed, but it's buggy.
Ah, I see.
It's the same. They're the same idea. I think Big Blue Button was designed probably out of frustration at how buggy Open Meeting is, because it uses the same stuff. It's based on Red 5, which is a Java solution. Red 5 was the original video conferencing solution using Java, and they both use that as their base. But Big Blue Button is far more professional, just from what we've seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when it's being hosted, is that with a cloud provider or?
I was playing Amazon or DigitalOcean.
Okay, that'll be expensive though.
DigitalOcean would be pretty cheap. I thought we could maybe just put it on 2 gigs of RAM.
Yeah,
and
it
disable
might be a
stuff
bit difficult.
like video recording.
Yeah, see, the trick is if you've got a number of participants, obviously the resource utilization will be quite high. Another thing to take into account is having a development server. It's quite important to have distinct environments so that you can test changes before they're actually moved into production. Otherwise, you can take down production services.
Yeah, but that's half the fun.
Yeah. Well, if you want to live dangerously, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure there's much plan to customize the Big Blue, and definitely not by me. Just use it as is, I think.
Well, I know safe practices, but I've thrown them out the window more or less for Sirimangalo. I think it's not worth my time. The server goes down. It's totally the wrong attitude, I know, but well, you know, if there were people working on this, then my attitude would probably change, because it would. But you know, you need to find people who have the time, and I don't know that any of us really do.
So another option might be to ask McMaster if they can provide you with the server resources. So at our university, if a student group was to come to us because we provide central infrastructure with a request for a development, a QA, and a production server, with those sort of resources, we could provide them within the hour. And they're centrally supported by the university, so that might be something to look at, providing that it's kosher, and it would cost you nothing. So.
Yeah, I don't think universities here are that advanced or forward-thinking, but it's worth a look to see what we do have. Especially this university is not, you know, not the most advanced. Maybe University of Toronto would be a more likely bet, but here, you know, I mean, it's something I could look into talking to, or looking at University of Toronto. Maybe they have something. Although I'm not a student there, maybe that matters. But I'm sure I could find people who are students there. But it's not really it's not a student group exactly. Anyway, I'll look into that, see what resources are around. 'Cause universities, I mean, even if you had to pay for it, it might not be that expensive.
Well, we're starting to bump up into 1 p.m., which is
Yeah.
when we have our study group. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming here. Again, I apologize for the delay. We could have gotten started about 20 minutes sooner if I knew what I was doing with this hangout here, but next week it should go smoother. So thank you very much for coming. If there's any follow-up information, if you want to leave it on the Facebook page or email myself or Bante, depending on what it is, that would be great. And I'll put a write-up of this on Facebook of what the needs are for this week. And also you should see a newsletter arriving this week in your email
Thank
as
you.
part of. Hi. Oh, sorry, I'm listening to Mumble and getting the Mumble chat mixed up with this one. So thank you very much. I think I'll end the broadcast here, and if anyone has any follow-up information, if you can leave it on the Facebook page or email either Bante or I, that would be great.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you very much. We'll
Yeah,
see
thanks,
you all
everyone.
next
Sarah.
week.
And thanks,
Cheers.
Robin.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
conducting the meeting.
Lovely to meet you.
Oh, thank you all. Nice to meet you all, and hope to see you all next week. Take care.
Peace.
Bye now.